Today marks 100 days until the Olympic Games begin, and talkSPORT will be in Paris to bring you the very best of the action as official radio broadcaster. The Olympics, the 2024 Summer Olympics. But as we know, and Danny has been reminding me through in the office here, there's a number of new sports coming into this. It will also introduce the sport of breaking. Break dancing to you and I, b-boying, b-girling, or break dancing. But breaking is the current term that we should use, and we will use that. And it's going to be in the Olympics. And Team GB breaker Kid Karam, but we'll call you Karam, has joined us live here in the studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. You're from Derby, right?
Yep, Derby.
And you do all your training, your breaking training, in the garage?
Most of it, yeah. So at home, I have my garage outside. I've kind of designed it and done it up, so we have a very good community space for myself and the youngsters from Derby. Right.
Did you ever think when you set out on this that it would become a recognised Olympic sport?
Absolutely not. Honestly, absolutely not.
No. And now that it has, how do you feel about it? I mean, is it there on merit?
I feel very proud that it's made it to where it is. I feel like it deserves its place there. It has been a sport for quite a while now. If you look at sport, it's something that's competitive in a physical manner, and the hours we put in, the training we do, is just like any other athlete. But what I will say is that when I say I'm really proud for it to be there, because for a long time it didn't really fit in the dance sort of side of things traditionally, and it didn't really fit into the sport side of things. So it's provided with a massive definition, and it gives us a platform and a place to stay.
Do you know, I watch a lot on social media of the dance, different types of breakdancing, freestyling and all that, and I think it has got merits, because when you think of some of the other sports in the Olympics, I mean, we were joking around it, but actually, you know, things like archery, curling, clay pigeon shooting, just to name a few. I mean, these guys are super strong, super talented, spend years dedicating their life to it.
Yeah.
And if you even watch snippets, go online and have a look, it's incredible what these lads can do.
I had a look before you came in this morning, and it's pretty mind-blowing. Simon and I will attempt some of those moves later on.
Love that.
When the building is closed. But talk us through it. Talk us through some of the training routines and the routines you actually do when you perform for real.
Yeah, so in training, normally you're training 5 or 6 days a week. But you could be training 5 days a week and competing 2 days on the weekend. In a training day, we're doing an hour to 2 hours of working out. For me personally, it's a lot of body weight sort of stuff. Working in high intensity sort of heart rate zones with a PT. I then do 45 minutes to an hour of stretching a day, and 2.5 to 3 hours of breaking training a day. So we're looking at 5 or 6 hours a day of training. And then it's a very cultural thing also. And in order to be at the best, you have to travel, you have to compete, you have to earn your rep, whether that's locally or globally. So we're traveling most weekends, almost every weekend of the month, in busy season, to compete all around the globe to sort of be the best in a competition. In a sporting aspect now, where we are, you're looking at doing 20 rounds per weekend, or 20 rounds per day sometimes, which is, wow. If you imagine a 100-meter sprint, maybe, I guess, we're doing 20 times that, from going from 0 to 100 multiple times, basically.
How long would a routine be then?
It can be anything from around 30 seconds to a minute, but it's totally up to you. It all depends on your tactics as well, you know, and what sort of dancer you are. If somebody does a really long round, you can hit them with a really short one to tie them out, and then go again. But you're looking at 2 to 3 rounds every single round. And how do the judges score it, Karam? How do they go about scoring it? Looking at you and thinking, yeah, he stands out from the rest. Yeah, so there's 9 judges, and we have the fundamentals of breaking the foundations. We have top rock, footwork, power moves and freezes, alongside a bunch of other things. But the way that they score it is there's 3 main categories, and then there's subcategories. So there's the body, which is the physical aspect, how clean you are, your execution. The mind, which is the creativity, because it's not really about what you do, it's how you do it. You have to be original and creative. And then the soul is how you interpret what's going on around you, from the music, how you interact with the music, how you interact and conversate with your opponent, and how you take in what's going on sort of in the room.
Who are the strongest competitors? Is it Americans?
A lot of people tend to think it is the Americans, and they are definitely right up there. But because it's so individual based, with it being in the Olympics as a solo sport, there's a lot of countries that might not spring to mind straight away that have that one person who's incredible. So I'll name a few that are right up there. You've got Kazakhstan. You've got Canada, who had an athlete that was number 1 and is number 1 currently. But America is right up there. Japan is also right up there as well.
I was going to say the Japanese.
And are there any Scots in the UK breaking team?
There isn't, unfortunately, on this one. We did have somebody that was in the qualification process from Scotland, but unfortunately, only 3 of us males have made it to the final qualifiers.
I mean, Simon, you've got to think.
It's not like Scotland to fall away, is it, before the final?
Shut up, Danny. Creativity, personality, technique, variety, performativity. And obviously, Karam's gone through the extent that they train for it. This boy is super fit. Is it an Olympic sport in your eyes?
Well, I mean,
you're old, let me remember.
No, I mean, you've got a litany of other sports that are going in there that are new evolutions. You've got skateboarding in there, you've got surfing in there, you've got sport climbing in there. So if you look at, if you look at this particular activity in this sport and you look at it as a combination of the way that it's scored, you can bring gymnastics into it, you can bring ice skating into it, because you've got routines, and it's about how these things are scored. And it's also about evolving the Olympics. We can all be traditionalists and say this flies in the face of what the Olympics was created for, but things need to move on. There's another generation of people that are watching the Olympics, and you want the next audience to come with you. And I don't really have a view whether it's good, bad or indifferent. If it's a sport that the Olympic and the IOC want to bring into the framework, then why not? And if it brings eyes on a prize, I mean, Danny obviously can spin on his head because he's got the ability to do that follically.
It's easier with no air, mate.
Follically, yeah, that's why I said follically, yeah. So I think it would be interesting. Absolutely.
Karam, what has your own journey been like to get to this point in your own sport?
For me, like I said originally, I would have never ever imagined it to be in the Olympics.
No,
so
how old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm 26,
right,
and I started 18 years ago. So I started at a really young age from watching music videos and then attending classes. And for me, I'm quite the person where I want to be 100% or nothing. So I wanted to be the best and on the biggest stages, whatever that would have meant at that age. But so I just train. At around 10, I think I was the youngest person to ever step on the world champ stage in breaking. So I did that. I then got flown out to multiple different countries to compete at big competitions. The organisers would fly me out. I'd then go all around the world, compete. Then go through my teen years, and then around about 16 I thought to myself, I really want to give this a crack, see if I can make a living out of it. So I flew myself to America. I won about 4 events over there.
You paid your own way?
Yeah, I paid my own way.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to make a living from it, basically. So then I went out there, I smashed it over there, got a lot of eyes on me, I earned my stripes, and then I started to get flown out to all these major events, started to do really well, started winning a lot. And then I was competing at the big events for Red Bull and stuff like that. And then the Olympic announcement came, and then we've had a grueling 18 months of qualifying where it's gone from thousands down to the last 40 now. And we've been to Japan, Korea, Brazil, just to do these qualifying events.
Oh, mate. Do you tip yourself to be a medal winner?
Absolutely, yeah.
Gold medal winner.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. If I wasn't in it for that, then I'd just not do it at all. I'm 100% or nothing. I got silver in the European Championships. Missed out on a few rounds against France, so I'm looking to get some revenge in their home country.
You've had an interesting pathway here. It wasn't that long ago, am I right, that you were answering phone calls at Sky?
That's correct, yeah. I was a sales operative at Sky.
Right. Most of them complaining about me. But I mean, we all do things along the way to get where we've got to. Sometimes I wonder where we've got to.
Yeah.
But it's a phenomenal journey you've had. You're not afraid of hard work. You're dedicated at whatever you do, Karam, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I see it as I go to work to get paid, and then I go home and do my job. That's the way I see it, yeah.
Are you ready now? If the Olympics was tomorrow, it's 100 days to go, but would you be ready tomorrow to compete?
I think I'd be more ready tomorrow than in 100 days, to be honest. But no, I think it's one of those things with breaking. It's like it sits in different places. You can choose your extreme, whether you want to be the best in the world or whether you want to do it for enjoyment. So all of the time we are training, no matter what. We have, aside of the sporting events, we have massive cultural events that we're constantly preparing for, and they help us set up nicely for these sporting events. So I've just got back from America. Next weekend I'm going to France, and they're all cultural events. So the start of the year has been very grueling, very good for training. It's been very consistent. So right now I'm very ready to go whenever I'm needed to.
I've got to ask you quickly, because I did ask these two, and I am showing my age, but have you seen breakdance?
Of course I have.
Of course you have.
Of course I have, yeah.
How have you not seen that?
Classic.
Ozone
the
and
film
Turbo.
from the 80s.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
unbelievable.
yeah.
That's one
okay.
of Danny's favourites,
Yeah,
Karen.
well, he looks like a refugee from the thriller video.
Yeah. Karen,
Even back then, it was quality.
It is.
At this Olympics, as you'll know, we were talking about this the other day, in athletics, some of the gold medal winners are in line to pick up prize money. 50 grand if you get a gold. What's your take on that? If you win gold, would you want 50k?
I think if you win gold, there's nothing bigger than that in itself. Winning is winning. For me, it's all about, it's about the journey, not always the destination, but I want to leave a massive positive impact on the world. But of course, any money bonus is absolutely incredible because we're very new. We're in a new era, we're in a new sport. It's the first time we've ever had sponsorships and brand partnerships and cash prizes like this. So I think it'd be absolutely amazing if obviously we was to be able to be rewarded with that, because it can then set us up for what's next in our sport.
You know what I'm going to ask you before you go today? I mean, we're on radio, we're on talkSPORT Live, but the show is on YouTube and Facebook. There's a camera on me, there's one on Mr. Jordan, there's one on Kid Karam at the moment, which would normally be on Danny, and will be on Danny when he sits back in your seat. So there are cameras about, but it's a 17th floor of the news building. You don't have a lot of space. In that area behind you, providing no one comes through the door with Simon's cappuccino, which is normally delivered at this time, are you able to give us a little hint of what you can do?
I reckon I could do a move or two for you.
A move or two?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Do you need Danny to sit round here with me?
Yeah, probably I'll use that space there if possible, and then...
We're picking it up, are we? I'm sure we're picking it up on YouTube and Facebook. This is a treat for everybody out there. Karam, please, mate, with the Olympics 100 days away, don't injure yourself just because I've asked you to do that. We can see you. Look at that. So we're watching you live on YouTube and Facebook. That's Danny Murphy's puffer jacket over that chair on the far side.
Well, nobody cares about that.
All right, nobody cares about that. Do you don't need your own music. You just do your own thing.
Right. I'm just doing a few tricks. So.
You're pacing up and down. Is this part of the build up?
Yeah.
Okay. Simon is watching from distance.
Yeah.
So am I. So is Danny. It's all yours, Karam. My God. Sensational. Wow. Oh, what? Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't see that on YouTube and Facebook, if you just listened to it in talkSPORT, every move that Karam attempted, he pulled off magnificently well.
I'm hot just watching.
You're not even out of breath.
No, I'm all right. That one's a easy one, that.
Mate, what do you make of that, Simon?
Very good.
Come on, Simon. Up, you're up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Karam, that was nothing short of fabulous, mate.
Thank you.
You've convinced me I should be watching breaking at the Olympics, and I'm rooting for you, mate. I'd love you to win gold.
Thank you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Fantastic. You get it all in talkSPORT, don't you? On YouTube and Facebook as well. 100 days to go, and that very much has wet the whistle for the Olympics in Paris.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.